It's a reaction video.
Yo, what's up, YouTube? Don't gotta really do much talking. We'll just get into the video. That's about it.
Statue of yourself also a classic, or?
Okay, let's just rip the band-aid off. Easily one of the biggest complaints of Western Energy was how it handled Stryker, the badass assassin, the reaper of wrath, beater of wives, and ruiner of Moxie's self-esteem. Stryker was a fan favorite, one people waited 2 years to see again, only for us to have to share him with the vet.
So,
Yeah,
nice weather we're
it
having,
was
huh?
kind of chopped
It was
up with
not
him,
a
bro.
vibe, but between a lack of tension, dick jokes, and Stolas' almost dead body, fans were left a
And
little
Stryker
ticked
didn't
at
really
just
do
the
much in this
direction Stryker
episode,
was
too.
taken. As out of the entire roster of villains, none of them were a menace quite like Stryker. So for him to come back with jokes, yeah, it rubbed some people the wrong way. Just like the apparent hypocrisy of Stryker talking a big game about killing royalty, only for him to be working for one. It was a lot, as the only casualties Stryker collected were headcanons. But personally, I don't think Stryker was as ruined by this episode as some other people. As yes, the dick joke feels like a Chaz bit, but on the whole, I feel like Stryker...
Yeah, bro, because when I seen that part, bro, I was like, bro, didn't they already have that same exact joke with the other dude? But, like, I don't know, bro. Maybe they just like to make dick jokes.
His characterization was way more consistent than some people are giving him credit for. This episode's got problems, but it's more about how Stryker was used than how they changed Stryker as a character. So let's dig into who Stryker is, what he was set up to be, and how Western Energy changed him for the better and for worse.
I'm better at other things, like singing.
I'd like to take this opportunity to sing a quick song I wrote just now about me winning.
Okay, first thing we gotta keep in mind is that Stryker has always been funny. Yes, he's dangerous, with him being one of the first times in the show where violence is treated as an actually horrific thing, instead of a gag or just spectacular. The show has always been using him to convey humor. The difference being that in Harvest Moon, he's not the butt of the joke. Moxie is. Harvest is all about Moxie meeting Millie's
It
parents
really
and
made
struggling
that
with
man
feelings of
cry,
inadequacy.
bro. I forgot
He's
all
not the
about
country
that.
tough manly man that is expected
Bro, I
of
really
rap.
forgot about
And
this
Moxie
episode because
desperately wants Millie's parents
Cause when I'm not gonna lie, bro. I'm not gonna lie, bro. When Stryker popped up, I was like, I remember this dude, but I don't remember him. But it's because, bro, the episodes are so far apart. But it's not their fault, because I know it takes a long time to animate stuff. But like, still,
to like him. He wants to like himself, but making this even harder is how Stryker is outshining him at every
but
opportunity.
like, bro, look how
Stryker
fucking
is everything
impactful he
Moxie
was
is
in
trying
this,
to be
bro.
in
Like, I
this
don't know how I
episode.
forgot about this dude.
Aggressive,
I
physically
didn't
powerful,
completely
country
forget about
tough,
him,
and
but like,
tall.
kinda.
The majority of this episode is Moxie getting clowned on, as Stryker just better than him at everything. This has the effect of letting the audience buy into Stryker's machismo. That he really is that cool. With his turn into villain,
Really
only
is
making him
that nigga.
sexier. As he defeated the M&Ms despite Millie going feral, goes toe-to-toe with Blitz, gives one hell of a sales pitch that the two of them should ditch the imps and start killing upper-class demons, starting with Stolas. He doesn't win in the end, and Stryker is forced to run away. But we were set up to
Ooh, now
love
I
his
remember
ass,
that,
with
bro.
the
I
cowboy
remember
bounty
he-
hunter
I wanted to
aesthetic
see
and
him
Norman Reedus'
again.
voice, just tying it all together.
I remember that part.
Then
I
Western
remember that
Energy
part.
happened, and suddenly Stryker isn't setting up the joke at someone else's expense, it's at his.
Seems a bit cliche, doesn't it?
It's a classic.
Which is fine. Helluva Boss is built around mixing comedy, violence, and sincerity. It's fitting that Stolas is making jokes at Stryker, as Stryker's revenge fantasy did involve him getting called a bitch to his face, poking holes at the mystique that he is desperately trying to maintain. And you know what? He's right, as it's not enough that he dresses and fights like a cowboy. Stryker has to have all the merch. He's got to have the train tracks, the neon cacti. He converted his old wagon
can't
into a
forget the
bedroom
theme
and
song,
attached a
too.
neon sign to call it Stryker's Saloon. This man is trying so hard to be a cowboy that it feels like an act. And mind you, he's the only fucking guy who dresses like this. Everyone else we saw in Wrath is country themed, yes, but they still dress in a distinctly modern sense. Stryker, meanwhile, dresses like he just robbed Party City. This is something that we just let slide in his first appearance, and we just ended up buying into the image that he was selling, only for us to find out that the person beneath it wasn't nearly as cool as he pretended to be. In fact, taken all together, it's kind of sad, which I do feel like is part of the point that the show is trying to lead you to. Stryker, for all his posturing and paraphernalia, is kind of a loser. He's a narcissistic jackass who is overly in love with himself, and what would be better shorthand for this than singing a song just singing his own praises? Well, it'd be commissioning a giant statue of yourself for your man cave with a fully erect dong.
That's pretty
It's
narcissistic.
weird, it's sad, but it perfectly encapsulates who Stryker actually is. As you look at his weird evil lair, you hear his theme song, and you still can buy into him being cool. One look at that rock hard package though, and his street cred just
But I really
plummets.
thought his life was over
With the
right
episode
there,
going
bro.
even further to
I really
deconstruct
thought
the
that
noble
that
motivations
stone
he
thing was gonna
claims
go
to have.
right into
Some of
him,
us
bro.
have everything we care about taken away by fuckers like you.
I'm not
Yes,
gonna lie,
ma'am.
bro. Okay, Stryker might be okay. What he's saying is Stryker is a loser or whatever, or they're trying to portray that Stryker's a loser, but it kind of makes me like even more like in that scene right there. It makes me more interested in like seeing his backstory. I want to see exactly what happened to Stryker that made him into this person he is right now, bro. I want an episode on his backstory. I feel like this right here is a good way leading into a Stryker backstory. I feel like before, like I thought Stryker was cool. Like before in the last episode we seen Stryker, he was a cool character, but I wasn't really interested in his backstory. I just wanted to see more future events of him, like being a reoccurring villain, all of this other stuff. But like this episode right here, it just kind of like set me up to like. I feel like it set us all up. I don't know if y'all agree with me on this, but like I want to see his backstory. That's what I really want to see. I want to see exactly why he is this person he is.
Glorious.
Stryker in his first episode gave a great sales pitch to Blitz about why they should team up, pointing out how Hell as a society is very much stacked against imps. They are effectively at the bottom of Hell's social ladder. They are treated as servants, hicks, or literal pets. The fact that Blitz is running his own killing business is considered exceptional, as so few imps ever get this far. Stryker is arguing that Blitz and him should team up, kill Stolas, who treats Blitz like a plaything, which he kinda did, then take their services and start killing the other upper-ranked demons like Overlords and Goetia. This is a really cool concept for a character, as it makes explicit a lot of the classism and racism.
He kind of got an
that
anime
Hellbot has
character,
been lying
like
through its role
storyline
with.
angle.
It's
Kept,
even
bro.
reaffirmed in Western Energy when some random kid calls Blitz a slur, showing just how casual the racism is in Hell.
The fuck did you just call me?
It's not polite to call them that to their face, honey. Wait until we're in the car.
Stryker claims to be in part motivated by how imps and specifically the denizens of Wrath are oppressed and mistreated. You would see this as part of the reason why he doubles down so hard on looking like he's from Wrath, because that country shit is specifically stereotyped as being from there. They're made fun of it for it, so he leans into it. But his vendetta against the nobility, how they talk over those that they deem lesser, live easy lives while the rest are forced to fight for scraps.
I don't have to listen to your bullshit. All you royals ever do is try to talk over us.
Yeah, in spite of having this implied tragic backstory, when you look at Stryker's action and language, it becomes obvious that he's just using his past as an excuse to hurt others, using how
Yeah.
he was allegedly mistreated to torture Stolas for his own amusement. Despite Stolas having no personal connection to Stryker that we know of, his only crime is being born filthy rich, but that's enough for Stryker to mutilate him, trying to break him physically and mentally. However, none of this would be happening if it wasn't for the
That's
fact
what
that
I
he
wanna
is
see
working for a
exactly what
different
happened, bro.
royal asshole. Stryker is a
I'm like
giant
way too interested, but
hypocrite,
you know,
and we've
if
always
that
known
is
that
something that's
about him.
coming
We're all
soon, probably won't see it for like another 2 years. I give it 6 months to 2-3 years probably. Bro, it's crazy, bro. I heard somewhere that this has 12 episodes, bro. We're only on episode 4. It been about almost a year since episode 1 came out, or maybe it has been a year. I feel like it's been almost a year, bro. It's gonna take about 3 years to complete this whole season, and they don't have the Stryker episode on this, bro. Like a Stryker backstory, then we're probably not gonna ever see it, or we're gonna see it in like a couple of years, bro. And that's gonna be like, golly.
Always talk about killing overlords.
I wish there was a
he's still
faster way to
fully
animate.
subservient to the people he
I really do.
resents. Giving up on killing Stolas the second Stella calls off the hit, proving that the man isn't a revolutionary, he isn't the Punisher.
But I know to have animation this crisp, bro, is gonna take time, bro. Like, don't listen to me, bro. I'm just saying I wish there was a quicker way to animate this crisply, bro. You feel me, bro? I know y'all agree with me, bro. It's like, how can you not, bro? Like,
There's nothing noble or
These are
meaningful
good
to his
episodes, bro.
actions,
Like,
no
you
matter
wish
how
you
much
could
he
binge
rants
it.
about his backstory. Stryker is just a hired gun. A highly dangerous one, yes, but he's not important. He's not exceptional, which is Stryker's biggest hypocrisy. As for as much Stryker talks about how much the Goetia look down on people like him, Stryker is just as guilty of this.
Blitz, come on. You know the two of us
You
are
become what you
superior
hate.
than most of our kind.
See, that's a line that tips his hands about just how full of shit Stryker actually is. He doesn't think that all imps are oppressed or held back from their full potential. Stryker agrees with the money. He thinks that imps are lesser, but he sees himself as being one of the select few who are able to rise above his station. That he is an exception. Stryker thinks more like the people he claims to hate than the people he actually belongs to. Stryker spent his whole first episode clowning on Moxie for being lesser.
I feel like he's taken
just
by
out
revenge,
of
bro.
pocket. Moxie
He's
didn't
full
do
of
anything.
vengeance in
He
his
didn't say
heart.
nothing to piss off Stryker. He was just there, and Stryker took that as a personal offense. Even going so far as to refer to Moxie as vermin, which isn't that far off from the fire toad comment the child threw at Blitz. Stryker looks down on and belittles imps just as much as the Goetia do. The man is dealing with some serious self-hatred issues, so this isn't bad or inconsistent writing. This dissonance, him working for Stella, is something a lot of real-life people deal with. I think it's probably the most interesting part of his character. However, for all the interesting theory crafting we could do about Stryker's backstory, about how Paimon definitely nuked his village and he lost everything, we're still left with a more personal problem in just how the show handles Stryker. And that's, was this worth it? As everyone's different, so everyone has to make their own judgment call if they enjoyed Stryker being a big intimidating presence versus the humor the show utilizes to poke holes in the persona he's crafted.
It's being in the background,
Everyone's
bro.
personal tastes are different. And I get the appeal of how in a show where pretty much everyone is funny,
Stryker.
having that one character who's played a bit more seriously could be a nice contrast. So if you start making fun of him too, that factor is diminished and he kind of becomes like everyone else. But again, that is personal preference. For me, I'm okay with poking fun at Stryker in Western Energy. As a character, I think he is very consistent from one episode to the next. My real issue is just how the episode is a bit overambitious for all the things it's trying to do, leading to it being sloppy in places, with the tonal whiplash taking away more than it adds, in my opinion. As yes, the episode does want to keep the Stolas kidnapping a bit more relaxed to show just how overconfident Stolas is, and yes, we do have cutaways to Blitz thinking Stolas can't get hurt, so he allows himself to dick around at the hospital. But the execution isn't as clean as I think it needed to be, with Stryker's character being the one who takes the biggest hit because of it, going from intimidating to jokey depending on what the situation needs. Most of it I think works. There are moments where I pause and question if this was the best choice. Like the dick statue. Great for showing how cringe Stryker actually is. We just got done dealing with a different sharp
it shows how
a big dick. So to have another does make
Yeah,
it feel
it just shows how
repetitive.
self-conceited
And it's not really
he
funny
is.
enough for me to balance out just how dorky this makes Stryker look. Same with his new theme song. Yeah, it's cool, it's fun. As yes,
He
just had
didn't even
Stryker
want
built
the
up,
theme
he's
song,
so
to be
cool. He just had the
honest.
theme song. He just had all the trains and shit. But then we just halt the scene to have this one long, drawn-out joke. For some people, this might be their favorite bits, but I'm not loving it. Stryker suffers the same problem that the rest of the episode suffers from. He's whipping from comedic to dangerous depending on whatever the current scene needs. Which could be fine, but I don't feel like the episode really builds to any coherent point overall. If it wanted to take off some of Stryker's mystique, cool, it accomplished that. But then it proceeds to have him torture Stolas and have a badass fight where we're reminded, oh yeah, he is that cool. But then we got shit like this.
Oh, yeah. He's Stryker. He's Stryker.
Shut the fuck up!
With the episode not giving any
Yeah, I
real
like that
conclusion
part.
on how you're supposed to feel about Stryker moving forward. It's fun in the moment, but I'm not sure what the exact takeaway is supposed to be, which is kind of how I feel about Western Energy overall. Fun for sure, but it's all over the place, and I feel like I can kind of see what they're going for, but the execution didn't win me over. So, for the moment, I don't think what we lost to get there was worth it. I still love Stryker. He might be my second favorite villain in the entire show, but how the show handles him going forward is going to make or break him for me. This episode didn't ruin Stryker, and there's a bunch of interesting new angles that they could take him, but whether or not it'll be more entertaining than when he was just a menace, that we're gonna have to wait and see.
I feel like a little bit of his past,
no,
bro.
singing, just a yes or no, please.
I feel like just a little. Hold up.
That's all for now.
Okay.
Like,
I feel like there's a little bit of his past will make him like a way more appealing character. Like if that episode right there was to like kind of make people look kind of iffy about Stryker, I feel like a next episode about his past will be something that like bring him back to like certify why his character was like the way he was in the first time you seen him and the second time you seen him. That's what I feel, bro. Cause to be honest, I really did not see that much wrong with his second appearance. I feel like it was pretty good. It was, I say the only thing that was kind of was the fact that he was taking orders from the people that he hated, and yeah, so it's kind of like his vengeance and all of his vengeance is, if it's vengeance, his trauma, his vengeance, all of that stuff is kind of overlooked by money, and that kind of like it kind of made him a little, you feel me? But like other than that, bro, been I feel like his character been true to itself this whole like for since the first appearance, bro. Because in the first appearance, we didn't really see much of him. Like we seen the part of him where he was just making fun of Moxie and he was a badass and all of this other stuff, but we didn't really see the more of him. We only saw like a little bit. Like I feel like this just shows more of him, and I feel like to get a full picture of him, we just gotta see his past. I know they said it in a little clip about his past, like it was destroyed. His village was destroyed by one of those higher ups, whatever they are. But like, I feel like it'd be better to see a visual, bro. Like a visual to see the torture he went through, the trauma he went through, what made him so hateful, what made him so heavy on like vengeance on this wanting to get back at the upper people and look down on the lower, like look down on people, bro. Become people that he hates the most, bro. What brought him to that, bro? I want to see it. I don't know about you, but that's just me. Anyways, that was a good video. It was a good video. And if you got this far, I know you thought it was a good video too. So I'm trying to figure out like why the fuck, why is it that the like button is not clicked? Why the subscribe button not clicked? Answer me that, bro. We made it this far. We're here. We're talking to each other face to face right now, and the like button and subscribe button is not clicked. I don't get it. What's up?